Greetings and welcome to the High Ground podcast. I'm Stevie W.
And Callum from Isolation still.
Yeah, this is really sucking actually right now.
Is
So many things you want to do and there's so much you can't do. But at least we're all alive, we're safe, and that's really, everything else is, But
secondary.
exactly. You know what? If you're new to this, we're just gonna go about what exactly is the High Ground podcast?
Yeah, I've been wondering that. That's a mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, a long time ago. Okay, I would go to say, the High Ground podcast, the name, I'm going to lay claim to the name. It was just you were the one that came up with the idea of doing a podcast. That was your
You
baby.
were, weren't you?
Oh, it was your baby. I remember that.
Wasn't it a joint thing?
No, you came up with your idea. That was I was doing it in the Geek Room. And that was not a plug, even though it does sound like a plug. You were the one that came up with the of doing the High Ground podcast. Doing a podcast. I had this name, the High Ground podcast. The High Ground. Didn't know what I was doing with it. And you came up with doing the podcast.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, I just thought they're like the main way of reaching a lot of people quickly now, and like a lot of the stuff I listen to now are podcasts, and there are some really even celebrities use them a lot now, don't they? So who's to say we're not going to be celebrities one day?
I wish. That would actually be nice. I'd rather be behind the scenes, a celebrity by default, you know what I mean? Like these people that just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to admit, this is what I like about doing these podcasts is that when you do things like on your own in front of a camera, you've got no one to fall back on. But when you're collaborating, you've got more chance of being you rather than being stiff. Giggity.
Well,
but
it's good for bouncing off each other, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that I always define it when people ask me what is it. This is a conversation that you're listening in on.
Yeah.
If you love films and TV or any entertainment in general, then this is for you. This is what you're listening to, or you have been listening to for the last 2 minutes and 37, 38, 39 seconds. So, yeah, I've got it all in front of me. I really enjoy this, and so Callum, I've got a question for you. What do we usually do when we're not in isolation and we're doing the podcasts?
What do we usually do? We usually watch a film afterwards, don't we? Or we think of material for the next one.
Yeah. And I eat pizza usually, or some form of takeaway. This is our day of the week. We actually have a bit of fun and watch the stuff we can't normally get away with watching.
Yeah.
So it's good, and this is what I really miss about the whole isolation thing is that, that we're doing the podcast. I'm actually as we're actually speaking, I'm looking at a microphone hooked up to an amplifier, hooked up to my phone with another mic, and with the computer making sure it's all recording. So it's not the same, and knowing afterwards that we're not going to go get pizza, and because we did John Carpenter, we were working our way through some John Carpenter films.
We've watched the thing. What else was it?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China, yeah. The Fog. I think that was. We weren't watching them in order. I was just sort of saying which ones do you want to watch personally.
Yeah, we've got our way through some really, really good stuff. You introduced me to Night of the Living Dead, which surprisingly is one film I had not seen.
And that's my favourite introduction of a film to someone ever. You probably heard a few times on episodes before, but Steve's reaction to the end was absolute pleasure. It's how film viewing should be, where you have no knowledge of something going in. It's impossible to have no knowledge of a film like that, but you maybe don't know it the way you think you do, and that's always a great surprise.
I didn't know the ending. I knew the idea of the film, but the ending I did not know. And when the ending comes, I don't want to go into spoil the territory on this one, but the ending is absolutely superb. But going back, this is the thing about with the high ground is we do tend to we start on a subject, but we go completely off subject and we come straight back to it, and like a conversation would do. I mean, when we started out, we were very rigid. We did notes and everything, and we would, other than of course the 10 minute okay, I'll get it out in under 10 minutes, where we try and get a whole subject done in under 10 minutes. And of course, you got the franchise wars, Tarantino stuff, which we're doing. We used to say, well, we're going to do it for 45 minutes, and that's going to be it, and it'd be rigid. We'd have notes and everything, and it was. I mean, there are early ones we don't have on here on any of the things. We started out on YouTube, and I took the ones off. But it's when we started becoming more fluid. We're going to go like a real conversation, a normal conversation, until it ends.
Yeah.
Because conversations have a natural end, and this is what we're doing with High Ground, and it works so much better like that. It does.
It's more organic. Like I think, it is good to have a structure. Like we know what we're going to talk about, and we have our main points and what's going to be discussed in the episode. But like you say, like we used to have time limits for them. And now after Reservoir Dogs, with our first one, we just thought, well, that worked really well, and it went on for an hour and a half. So who cares how long it is? It's just sometimes conversations do go on a while.
Especially when it comes to films, unless if it's something we're passionate about.
I mean, that recent under 10 minutes where we went on for 40.
Yeah.
About the Marvel Phase 4.
Yeah, if something's that fluid, you have to keep it just going, and it's passion. It's about I'll be honest with you. When it comes to the research and everything, now the only times I will do research beforehand is when we're doing the versus stuff, because the franchise wars, because I want to make sure that it's not about winning an argument. It's more like going with this, and this, because it adds to what I think is the humor of it. Because if you
I mean, we've always said that when we do the versus stuff, it's not like we're not literally against each other. It's just an argument in the traditional sense, where we present a viewpoint, or we present what we think, why it means whatever it does to us, and then we go on from there. And it's not like 1 point to me, we're drawing or whatever. It's just to present our viewpoint.
I just want to slightly contradict you there and say one thing. Attack of the Clones is a great film, and I will always see that as a point system.
Okay, guys, then I'll renew that. Apart from the Star Wars versus, it's not personal.
This is the thing you have to have. I read something Kevin Smith said about a year or so ago, when someone asked him about why he doesn't review films he doesn't like, and he said something on the lines of, why would I waste my time reviewing something I don't like? And that's what I feel about this. I would not waste my time on the High Ground podcast reviewing something I don't like. I know as a film critic, when I do the reviews for in the Geek Room, if something's bad, I will say I don't like it. But at the end of the day, I don't want to spend my time slating something for 2, 3 to however many minutes it is, because life's too short for talking about stuff you don't like.
There's degrees of bad, isn't there? Like there's bad, whereas like we were talking I think, for instance, in the RoboCop one, we were saying about how awful the sequels are, but like you can still sit down and watch them and have a view on them. It's not like, I wouldn't review something like 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight.
God, no.
Because it's just a non-entity to me. But yeah, like you can have fun reviewing things that are quote unquote bad.
We actually did watch RoboCop 2 on the 7th of January.
We did, yeah.
So, and so it was enjoyable.
I forgot how bad that was, actually.
It's bad. I saw it at the cinema, so I've got a bit of a soft spot.
Oh, I still would have liked to have seen it at the cinema.
It was RoboCop. I had to watch it at the cinema because just the right age to get in, sort of. That wasn't really. I went and got in. Oh, the good old days when you could get into the cinema without being the actual age you're supposed to be. I remember that so well.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the other day, I was trying to remember my first like 15 and 18, and I can't, honestly, it's so long ago, I just can't even. It's not that it was long ago, it's just there's been so many films in between the times, I think it's almost impossible to remember. Unless you can remember yours, I don't know.
I don't remember my first 15, but I remember my first 18.
Oh, was it Freddy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Followed by Pet Sematary.
Was that an 18? I thought that was a 15.
Sure, it was an 18.
Yeah, I think
freaks me out.
It probably still is. I've never looked at the certificate.
Well, you walk out of the cinema after, because it took me 2 attempts. I'll be very quick on this. It took me 2 attempts to get in to see that film, because I was going to go and turn off every day until I actually saw it. Then get out, and I was like, walked home, and I was like, that's the reason it's an 18 certificate. And it freaked me out for a while. But on a positive, it freaked me out for a while. I'm glad I did it. So
don't watch the remake. It'll freak you out how shit it is.
Now, my next Stephen King film to watch is going to be Doctor Sleep Extended Cut.
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed Doctor Sleep.
It's a brilliant film.
But see, that's all the reasons for doing the podcast as well. Like where we just sort of say what we've been watching, or when we've been chilling, what we've been watching, or like, oh, you should watch this or that, And I hope other people when they listen go, oh, I'm going to watch that now.
Yeah, take a. If you listen to this and you've got a notepad or something handy, or your phone, and write notes, because we do come up with some good stuff to actually watch. I'll even admit that I will, and this not being big-headed or anything, because we're not like, when you see on YouTube, I'm talking about here, where you see a group of friends sitting around. Except for Cinema Massacre, I want to point out that's different because they're having fun when they're doing that, and I really like the guy who does it. I think he's fantastic. Yeah, I think he's fantastic. But we're not bedroom or basement dwellers who only watch horror, science fiction, fantasy, or whatever. We've got both of us. We have a very broad taste in cinema.
Eclectic.
Eclectic taste. I've said this before, and I've said this to you hundreds of times. And bear in mind, it was only last year we saw it. When we went to see Schindler's List on the big screen. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that sits with me with, say, the other big one we saw last year, which was Star Wars. And they both sit hand in hand with me. It's sort of like I truly consider to be, Schindler's List to be the greatest film ever made. But I still enjoy Star Wars, and I can enjoy things. Going back to what we watched earlier this year, RoboCop 2. It had its moments. Sat down and watched it, and but it's just the whole. We watch loads of stuff that's just not. You could go to both of our collections, and you wouldn't find nothing but one genre. It's all mixed.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that you should be listening to this, because you got this far into it, and if you're still listening to it, thank you for listening. Really appreciate all our listeners, and
we do indeed.
So this has been it. This is how the High Ground podcast actually works. So you got anything else to say, dude?
No, just that it's not rocket science. It's just we're just doing something we enjoy. So hopefully you guys enjoy it as well.
So please keep listening, and there's going to be more stuff we're going to be doing, and we will be continuing with the franchise wars and the Tarantino stuff which we're doing.
Oh yeah.
So that's CBW as always, as you know.
I'm Callum.
See you soon.
Bye.